Good morning and welcome to Money Wisdom, sponsored by Johnson Brunetti. I'm Natasha Lubchenko. We're teaching you smart ways to manage your money, and here with expert advice is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner and Johnson Brunetti partner. Eric, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Good morning.
So today, let's talk about healthcare costs. It's an important part of retirement planning. I want to start with the basics on what our viewers should know. You say first is that healthcare is one of the largest expenses in retirement.
Well, and a lot of people don't factor it in because if you're working, you're getting subsidized health care, you're getting it at a cheaper cost through your employer. So It's not something like oil or car insurance that we have to pay for, every single year. And now you're going to pay for it when you retire. So that's a big line item you got to factor in.
Right, you want to be prepared for that. And something else important to note is most people no longer have employer or union-sponsored health benefits.
Yeah, and the health care that you're going to have now is probably, I don't want to say it's not as good, but when you're in a big employer plan and there's all these people that work for the company, you get a plan that maybe is more robust, and now you're going to be out on your own, and for that same level of plan, it might cost you a lot more money, particularly if you're younger than 65. So you got to look at that.
All right, so we have a better grasp on what we should know. Let's talk about planning for these costs. You have some tips for us. First one is contribute to an HSA.
HSA is a health savings account. So it's an account you can contribute into if you're working through your employer, where you put money in pre-tax, you don't pay any taxes on it, then it grows tax deferred, tax free, and when you take the money out, if you use it for a qualified healthcare expense, you don't pay any taxes on it. So it is wonderful. Not all people have an HSA. If you do have an HSA, put money into it.
Okay, important note there. Now, what about working until 65? You recommend this?
That's a big one. I mean, because a lot of people, so the average retirement age in the United States falls around 62 years old, which coincidentally is when people can get Social Security, but you're not getting health insurance until 65, which means you're going to pay for it. And again, a lot of people don't factor this in, and they're like, how much? That much. So be aware, 65 is when you get Medicare, and that makes that cost a lot more affordable.
And speaking of Medicare, you say the final tip here is to understand your Medicare options.
Yeah, there's tons of options. I've had a health insurance license for almost 2 decades, and it confuses me. That's not something that we do all day, every day. We work with groups that specialize, particularly in that. What is your situation? Are you in good health? Are you not in good health? Are you taking a lot of medicines? Everyone has a story of themselves or a family member who, this prescription drug costs this much money. So you got to look at that stuff and make sure you're choosing the best option for you.
And now this is obviously a very important topic, and there's so much to understand. You have a special offer for our viewers talking all about healthcare in retirement.
Yeah, you can get it at moneywisdomtv.com, and it talks specifically about this, and it's good because a lot of people, it talks about derailing your retirement as a result of not factoring healthcare, and people do, because it's not really a fun conversation. It's a really important conversation. We all need it. So there are options out there that might be much better for you. Or maybe you are going to leave work before 65. You end up looking at COBRA. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. It's better to know this stuff going in. So please
I would imagine reading it earlier is always better, right?
Yeah.
Prepare for
more time, more options.
There we go. I love it. Eric Hogarth, thank you for the offer as always. And of course, you can learn more at moneywisdomtv.com. For CT Style, I'm Natasha Lubchenko. We'll see you next time.